Settle down! Another test subject. Fry! I thought that was free!
Allow
Test subject.
An oversight on my part.
Have a safe trip! Free! I got Kevin. The wrong test subject.
The mighty be humble. A moment, please. Stay cool and face your gift.
Torrent, bring refuge! My apologies. Embrace the ice. Let's move out. Let's move out.
Let's begin.
Whirling snow.
The tides beckon.
Hold the line.
Water comes in many flavors to the discerning palate. Mondstadt's water is crisp and pure, while water from Liyue has an enduring aftertaste. In Inazuma, the water possesses a depth of flavor unlike any other. Sumeru's water, meanwhile, has a rich and complex flavor profile, but it must be savored patiently to fully appreciate it.
Settle down!
Rest and rebuild.
Have a safe trip!
Allow me. Add Astro. Thank you for Add Astro.
We rented this house from one of the locals to use as a temporary base. I'll come back later and tidy up a bit. After that, it should be all ready for you to stay in tonight.
Awesome, thanks! So, where are we at?
Well, when I happened to run into you two earlier, I was actually in the middle of distributing. With this many people staying in Poisson, we have to bring in outside supplies every now and then. I should probably make sure the rest of these provisions get delivered. Otherwise, people might start to get antsy.
Okay, we'll come with. There are all sorts of rumors about your organization floating around out there. But now that we finally have the chance to see a day in the life of the house, we can take a good look at how you operate.
Well, you're more than welcome to come along. Just follow me.
Linny! You're finally here. The supplies.
Brought them with me? Yep, here you go. Hello? Something caught your eye?
It's the Traveler in Paimon!
No way! Come here, everyone! Hurry! The Traveler and Paimon are here!
One at a time, please. Don't crowd around them all at once. We don't want to scare off our guests now, do we?
Oh, it's alright! Gotta say, Paimon didn't realize. Of course! Father and Linny have told us so much about you.
Father told us about how you helped Linny. According to her, you're a trustworthy friend. And as far as she's concerned, that's pretty much the highest compliment we've ever heard her give. As you can imagine, everyone's been very curious about you.
I heard the Traveler is so strong that he can move a mountain with it. I heard Paimon eats so much that she can clean out the entire pantry at Hotel Tabor in just 3 days. Wait a second! That's the rumor you heard about Paimon? Oh, not cool at all! Oh, wait! When guests visit, you're supposed to give them gifts and stuff, right? Oh, we don't need something like that. Come on. We insist. I can give you some of my new potion, huh? Or maybe Shaplo can teach you guys about stealth.
Ah, now that's not a bad idea. I know you usually prefer to fight head-on, but it never hurt. I was poisoned not too long ago, and I'm still dealing with the after effects. So I'm not quite as good as I...
Wait. When you said gifts, Paimon did... But those are the best things we can give you. Ooh, how about this? Tell me the name of someone who really annoys you.
All right, Fold, Selwar. I think that's enough suggestions for now. When it comes to being a good host, it's the thought that you don't need a physical gift to make our guests happy. In fact, pestering them with suggestion after suggestion might make...
Really? Awesome! It's been so long. Yeah, especially if it's...
Well, we'll talk to you all later.
All right, see you later.
Bye! Linny, about all that poison...
Scared you, did it? That kind of talk comes with being part of the House of the Hearth. When Foltz was really young, he strangled all of his family pets, just out of curiosity. Elwar has an unnatural obsession with potions. Father has forbidden her from trying all the different concoctions. Chaplot is around my age. While I'm mainly responsible for collecting intelligence, he handles surveillance. He's very passionate about his work and has no... I know you two probably aren't used to that kind of talk, but I can promise you they only had the best of intentions. Things like stealth tactics and develop... Filial, supplies are here.
Thanks. And who are these?
Allow me to introduce you.
Oh, you're the famous duo I've been hearing so much about. It's nice to meet you. I heard you've traveled to...
Of course! We're making our way all across to that!
Oh, good for you.
You must be pretty familiar with Fontaine by now, then. Have you seen the new opera that started running recently? I think it's called...
Oh, this is the first we've heard of it.
It seems like it's going to be fantastic. From what I've been able to tell from the posters, anyway.
Oh, and there's The Blind Maiden, too. That one is supposed to have After this mission is over, I think I'll go get a manicure.
Oh, maybe I should dye my hair.
Is it just Paimon, or do these two seem much easier to get along with than the others?
I heard that.
Oh!
I'm guessing you're referring to Foltz and the others?
I bet those crazies are practically foaming at the mouth right now. I'm sure they just can't wait to get back to Snezhnaya to carry out the plan.
That's enough, Filial.
Don't talk about family members behind their back, right?
Guess this is goodbye then. If you ever have some time, we should go see the opera together.
Well, that's it for the supply.
Well, they didn't seem too happy with each other. Seems like there could be something more going on here. You're right. We're only here as Linny's getting...
So, what do you think of the members you've met so far? Well, Father is always encouraging us to be... Well, I should probably get cooking.
Of course!
Then let's head out and... Fremine? What are you doing here?
Well...
Fremine! Nice to see you!
Oh, you too.
We were just going to make some food. Why don't you come along? I could use some help in the kitchen, and I seem to remember you mentioning you wanted to make...
Seafood soup?
Were you looking for something just now, Fremine?
It's nothing.
Yeah, we've got some left over.
Some food and water.
No problem. Give me a second here. Food, water... Wait a minute. What do you need all of those for? You're not on any missions.
I thought I'd grab an extra portion because I get hungry at night.
Fremine, you remember what I told you? You're not like me. Your lying skills still need some work. Tell me what's going on. Is it really
Maybe it'll be
This is the first time I've seen that kind of...
Just follow...
You're back! Oh, and you've brought some friends with you this time.
Hello, my name's Linny. I grew up in the House of the Hearth.
Hi, Linny. I'm also a child of the House of the Hearth. Just like you can call me Clairvy.
Clairvy?
It's nice to meet you. Does that name ring any...
No, not at all. That's not a name we have on our roster, I'm sure of it. What I'm not sure, she must be the phantom child Father's been searching for. From the looks of it, I'm guessing you...
No, I haven't told anyone.
For how long?
About half a...
So ever since we got to Poisson, then. Do you have any idea what you're doing?
I know what I'm doing.
Really? 'Cause from where I'm standing, it looks like you're hiding the very person Father has been trying to find. You know the rules of the house, Fremine. I know you do.
I've thought it through. And I just can't hand her... Linny, don't you remember last year? Chaplot nearly died after getting poisoned during that one mission. He wasn't able to get back before the poison... That night, while I was sleeping, I heard a voice telling me to go save him. I opened my eyes, but I couldn't find the source of the voice. That feeling of being haunted.
So what you're saying is... that...
Unless there are other spirits roaming around the House of the Hearth, if Clairvy were our enemy, it wouldn't matter whether she was a spirit or an actual child. I would have acted without a second thought, because that's what Father... But she's been living with us, helping us from the shadows all this time. I couldn't just hand her over to be dealt with.
So what's your plan then? You can't keep her here forever. Someone is...
I haven't thought that far yet. I don't want to
Come with me. There are a couple things I'd like to say to you.
Those two sure care a lot. Well, they got a funny way of showing it. No way. They have a really deep bond. I could tell right away. I just don't know how long that kind of bond can last. The darkness in the house runs deeper than you can imagine. No one can...
I'm sorry, Linny. I really did...
Oh, really? You didn't mean to? 'Cause...
Huh?
You know, when we were younger, you didn't call me Linny. We grew up together, the three of us. We were all orphans, all rescued by Father. Later on, when you started calling me Linny, I wasn't actually surprised. After all, Lynette and I are related by blood. We've had to depend on each other.
Linny,
The darkest and most difficult moments of my life happened before you and I had ever met. I'm sure that's true for you as well. Eve, you and Lynette are the most important people in my life. No one can replace you. So I won't let you...
Oh, looks like things are getting kinda heated between Linny and Fremine. Oh, it's raining. I should put my clothes away. Hey, you two! Hope we aren't interrupting anything. Oh, wait a minute. Well, we're all friends here, right? We've been...
It's just a small family dispute. It's not something our guests should trouble themselves with.
What are you getting at, Trap?
When guests are around, families are often on their best behavior. And any disputes are less likely to escalate. I... just... Thank you. I was really...
Me too.
Well, back to the matter at hand then. If we don't plan on handing Clairvy over to Father, then our only other option is to... That means finding out where she came from and what she's doing here. Then, we can send her on her merry way and pretend like...
I've tried that all...
And?
And... nothing. She even came with us all the way to Poisson. It seems like wherever that...
I don't know much about spirit.
Let's see here. Paimon remembers hearing something like... it's just that Paimon doesn't really...
Well, sounds like it's worth a shot. Guess that means...
What is it?
I need you to promise me that this will stay between the two of us. We're the masterminds behind this whole thing. No one...
Of course.
All right. Then let's seal the promise just like when we were kids. Fist bump on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
I swear.
Whoa!
Lynette!
But what a surprise! What brings you here, dear sister? And, when exactly did you get here?
You're an idiot, brother.
And you too, Fremine. You 3, Traveler. And you 4, Paimon.
Wait, what did we do?
I've seen Clairvy around the House of the Hearth before. I hadn't seen her in Poisson, so I figured she must not have come with us. But it turns out, I heard you talking about your plan, rather than steering clear of the situation. If you don't agree, I'll have no choice but to report everything back to Father.
You're not giving us much wiggle room here, Lynette. Well, I guess we're all in this together then. After we talk to Claire, there's no time to lose.
I'm full. She said she's full, but the food doesn't look like it's even been touched.
That's right. Based still, when she's presented with food, she'll always linger around it for a good little while.
Does she know that she has already passed away?
I've tried to ask her, but she didn't answer. My guess is that she's just as...
Clairvy, if you've got some time...
Sure. Oh, another new friend. Hello.
Clairvy, how did you join the...
Huh? Isn't it the same for everybody? The knave brings you here and then you can't leave.
It's just that... your name...
The roster? Oh, I get it now. The people in charge. They're not as nice as they look. They say they keep a roster, but in this house, some people are family and other people are just test subjects. Wait, does that mean the knave...
Is there anyone that can vouch for you?
Perry. She's my best friend. She's the only...
Have either of you heard of that name?
No.
Me neither.
Clairvy. Perry. But it seems like she's telling the truth. Either that, or this kid's already got a bag of tricks bigger than mine. Maybe we should try a different approach.
Wish?
It can be anything you want. Just imagine. It's your birthday, you're blowing out the candles, and your wish is...
To where the sun can find me. That's... it? Well, that sounds easy enough. The darkness in the house runs deeper than you can imagine.
Okay, time to divide and conquer. I'll try and find a way to use basic illusory magic to take Clairvy outside and bring her some... Lynette, try and find the list of executions that Clairvy was talking about, and see if her name is on it. Fremine, you stay in Poisson. We can't be the only ones who've had run-ins with Clairvy. I need you to collect intel on everything she's said and done.
Understood.
I'll try my best.
What about us? What should we...
I really appreciate your willingness to help, but this is a family matter. Let me think. Since Father considers you to be guests, maybe you could stick...
Ah, Paimon gets it. You want us to distract.
I'll give you a magic bird. If Father suspects something, all you need to do is release it when she's not looking, and it'll alert me that something's wrong. Of course, that's only as a last resort. If Father doesn't seem to notice us, there's no need to make contact. We'll reconvene here tonight after all's said and done. If the worst-case scenario happens and we're discovered, just tell Father everything. We're not going to let our guests get punished for our own actions. You too. Okay, this is where we part. I really hope this goes well. No, it has to go well.
it's the knave and child. Hey, aren't you supposed to be in Snezhnaya recuperating? What are you still doing in Fontaine?
Oh, it's you two. I didn't expect to run into you here. I was unconscious for quite a while after the fight in the Primordial Sea. After I woke up, I realized I was being taken. I couldn't have that now, could I? Not when I've still got unfinished business here in Fontaine.
What sort of unfinished...
It has to do with Skirk, my master. I really wanted to meet up with her, but by the time I got back, she had already left. I still have so many questions for her. Without any other leads, all I could do was ask the knave to help me track her down.
Oh, okay, so
Unfortunately, no. While the House of the Hearth is adept at collecting all manner of intelligence, certain existences can still manage to escape our...
Basically, unless Master feels there's a need to meet with me, she's not going to be found. But that problem has an easy fix. I just need to become stronger.
Paimon thinks you should focus on
The worst of it is over. It's all thanks to that one kid from the House of the Hearth. Elwar, I think her name was. She gave me a bunch of random potions to drink. They didn't go down easy, and that's good because it looks like I really do have to head back this time. The old man's been putting the pressure on me. He sent someone to tell me I'm needed for some sort of project.
Project Stuja?
Yeah, that's the one. I heard Regrator's involved too. I'm not looking forward to having to listen to all his monologuing, that's for sure. Hey, maybe you could think of a way for me to stay in Fontaine for a little longer. Helping Linny and the others brush up on their fighting skills would be far more interesting. If you and I could spar, that would be even better.
And what a sweet little daydream that is. But I also have a role to play in all this. I'll be leaving Fontaine shortly as well. Besides, considering how little they see fit to step outside the homeland, being called on to return to Snezhnaya by such illustrious dignitaries, what a great honor, wouldn't you?
One I could do without, I'd say.
Is it just Paimon? Or does it kind of seem like they're...
So, dear guests of the House of the Hearth, to what do I owe the visit?
Right! We're super close to Linny and the others, but we...
Is that so? Introductions have already been...
well, you see? There's only so much you can learn.
Good question. I'd also like to know.
The fact that you have to ask tells me our intelligence work has been quite successful. Telling you the answer to that question would only...
Spoken like a true diplomat. That was some expert sidestep.
Well, if there's nothing else, I think I'll take my leave. I still have a small matter to resolve at...
Wait, don't go!
I'd also like to hear the... I've met some of the members of your organization, and they all seemed like really good kids. They actually reminded me of Tonya and Tusser. Which, by the way, if you ever betray them, I'm just letting you know, I won't let you off easy.
And why would I betray them?
Well, you've already betrayed the House of the Hearth once, haven't you? At least, that's what I heard. Okay, I admit. That's just what the old man told me. The rooster, I mean.
Wait, did you really do...
Never mind what I've done. I'm more curious as to what the mighty rooster had to say. Care to enlighten me?
Well, nothing much. Just some stuff about you taking out many other members of the House of the Hearth, and even going so far to attack your own family. Oh, based on your reaction.
Hardly. I don't appreciate his particular turns of phrase, although it would be more accurate to say that there is a certain level of prejudice involved, but I don't intend to clear that up just yet. Call yourself a Fontanian, for example, and people will assume all sorts of things, when the real truth is that this is simply the land where—
Huh? You're not actually from Fontaine? But then, why did you try to help out with—
I was trying to protect the children born in Fontaine. Claiming that I myself was a Fontanian simply made it easier to operate. People would hardly suspect a fellow Fontanian of having any ulterior motives. Who wouldn't want to save their homeland? The primordial sea wouldn't have any effect on me, but it would have caused great harm to the House of the Hearth. Well, you wanted extra information.
So, you stayed in Fontaine for the kids. I guess I was wrong to believe you'd betray them. Apologies. Looks like I was
Good. Like I said,
Actually, while I was recuperating at the House of the Hearth, I heard that members always resolve disputes and arguments with a friendly spar, and the loser has to back down. Seems pretty cool if you ask me. Would also give them plenty of opportunities to hone their—
Well, that's only a recent development. In the past, such spars weren't nearly so friendly. The losing party would lose everything, including their life.
They were that high stakes?
Well, the current atmosphere's not half bad. I'm a bit jealous, actually. You've got so many family members around.
Having a lot of family around means dealing with a considerable amount of bickering and scheming. Once Tonya and Tusser enter their rebellious phase, I'm sure you'll understand. Just imagine. Tusser becomes obsessed with plucking out strands from the rooster's mustache, or Tonya decides to dye her hair 42 different colors.
Okay. I get the picture. Well, would you look at the time? Traveler, Paimon? I'm not sure where our paths will cross next, but the next time we run into each other, we should definitely try and find some time to—
Again, maybe this is a conversation.
All right. Well, thanks for everything, Arlecchino.
No thanks necessary. You also played a part in obtaining the Gnosis. I would say we can call ourselves even.
I like the sound of that. Well, I'm off. See you all some other time.
We should probably get going too. Do you want to head back with us?
Oh? You...
Oh,
I'm rather enjoying the evening breeze. If you don't mind, I think I'll stick around for a bit. I have some things to think about. Apologies for not attending to you like a proper host. Please forgive this slight.
We managed to keep her distracted until nightfall. Good thing Child was there to keep the conversation going. You don't think she suspected anything, do you?
Oh? You decided to stay a little...
Oh, I wonder if Linny ran into any issues. Let's hurry back and see how everything went. How did everything go?
Well, long story short, we ran into a small issue. Everything was fine at first. She followed me up to the but as I led her out of the shadows and into the sunlight, she vanished. I turned around and there she was, standing at the edge of the shadows, silently watching me.
Huh. Maybe she's afraid of sunlight, or... Well, we could always try... Oh, true.
I've pretty much tried it all already. Nothing worked. Eventually, this... How did it go with you?
Good. I've got the list.
Really? Well, what... Oh, that's a lot of pages. Oh, it's gonna take forever to get through it all.
We can each take a section. Here.
La Pouillade, l'endroit, Chambert... Oh, yikes. That our rare guy has a huge scar on his face.
Ah, I've met him before. The scar is from an injury he received during a mission. I still remember him joking with me about...
Did he say anything else?
Well, I asked if there was someone he was interested in. He said no, and that's where our conversation ended. It was only later that I learned he really did have someone he liked. He risked everything to escape so he could be with her, but... it didn't work.
Wait, so that means...
It may seem cruel, but it's just one of the rules. Betrayal is not to be taken lightly. We know too many secrets to come and go as we please. Her name's not here, huh? Well, that's not too surprising. It doesn't... Let's shift our attention then. Fremine, were you able to find anything out? Fremine...
Sorry. I managed to talk to quite a few people, but
Strange.
Yeah, I mean, I know there have been arguments in the past.
Oh, those are two of the people that we met while delivering supplies.
That's to be expected, actually. Father brought us all here, shared her knowledge with us, taught us how to fight. That's one thing we all share. But that's also where the similarities end. Not all of us feel the same desire to... As members of the House of the Hearth, we're also considered part of the Fatui. And to a lot of people, certain members get older and realize they want something else for themselves. But considering the rules, people like Chaplot and Foltz are loyal to Father and her vision. They're proud to be part of the Fatui. Filial and...
These kinds of conflicts have always been there.
Well, that's true. But it just feels like things have gotten worse lately. I can't say for sure, but I think they've met...
You think she's been inciting them to act out?
No, not exactly. But she's told me about it before. Experiments being run on children. People being used as pawns on the...
And they just believed all that? Without any evidence?
Clairvy's words probably gave them the excuse they were looking for. Whether they...
This is all because of Project Stuja.
Whoa. What's this Project Stuja all about, huh?
Sorry, but I'm not sure of the detail. I only know what Father has told us, which is that it's something the Rooster and Regrader have been working on together. Apparently, it has to do with the Fatui strategy. Because the House of the Hearth was so successful in obtaining the Gnosis, we now have the honor of playing a key role in Project Stuja.
Wait, but isn't that a good...
Key role is just another way of saying dangerous role. To us, the whole thing is an inconvenience. Father thinks so too, but she's in no position to refuse. Their plan isn't exactly unreasonable, and they've been funneling the house a lot of funding. It's just that we'll lose a lot of members in the process. Participating in the plan, it's an honor in name only. What they're really trying to do is subdue us. The existence of an intelligent...
Okay, super complicated top secret Fatui business aside, what does all of this have to do with the conflicts you were talking about earlier? Paimon doesn't get the connection.
External pressure has a way of exacerbating internal strife. You can't overlook the power of fear either. I thought resolving the Clairvy situation would make everything go back to normal. But it looks like things are more complicated than I thought. If we leave Filiol and the others to their own devices, sooner or later, Father will be forced to take action.
We can only focus on one situation at a time, brother.
You're right. Even if we confront Filiol and the others, it won't do any... Well, it's getting late. We should head back and get some rest. We'll try again first thing tomorrow. Lynette, you stick with me this time. Fremine, keep a close eye on Filiol and the others. Good work today, everyone. Have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, I'm always looking forward to an early night. Hey, you don't think the name... She's even scary when she smiles. If she were to actually get angry... Ooh, you have to protect Paimon if that happens, okay, Traveler? Oh, well, in that case, we should just plan on running away. We'll grab Linny and the... Look! Look over there! Quick, let's catch up with her before anyone sees! Over there! Oh, where is she going? Oh, if someone sees her, we're toast! Oh, look! She stopped! Clairvy! Shh! I opened the window while no one was looking. Look how pretty the outside is. If only I could have more than this. You probably think I'm being silly, huh? All this hopeless resist. Please, help us get on the same page here. Sure. Although, After you, everyone in this family is nothing more than a tool. Something to be used and exploited. As long as you're useful, you get to stick around. Lose your value. You're handed over to the doctor, experimented on, and given a fate worse than death. You're saying the knave did all that? It's just, that doesn't seem like something she would do. She's scared. I knew you wouldn't believe me. Everyone thinks she's a good person. They all think of her like a real mother. But she doesn't deserve that title. She's disgraced it, and if only Perry were here, she'd understand. Perry? Also, Paimon's getting us. It almost feels like she's not really here with us. Paimon can't tell if she's actually talking to us or if she's... Well, in any case, it seems she looks so young. But it seems like... It's getting windy. Ooh, look at the moon. Isn't it pretty? Hey, wanna hear a secret? I heard that if you look up at the night sky in Snezhnaya, you can see the aurora. It's a Perry and I promised each other that once we're... But I can't find her. I'm worried she's also been... No, that wouldn't happen to her. She's special. Mother likes her a lot. I should really go talk to Mother, but we just fought. She doesn't want to see me, and what should I do? Paimon really doesn't understand. Well, let's head back. We've got an
All right, looks like we're all here. Let's go ahead with the plan.
Oh? What is it?
What makes you ask that?
Well, we kinda ran into... We met the doctor back in Sumeru. He's super dangerous. And he's done all sorts of bad...
It's possible that Father and the Doctor have had certain dealings, but I don't think Father would work with him. We're not really on the same side, so there's not a lot of trust between them. That doesn't exactly set the stage for a successful... I did hear, though, that when Father first became a Harbinger, the Doctor offered to work with the House of the Hearth. Father rejected most of his proposals, except for one.
Secret experiment? Could that be what could...
I don't think so.
I don't know any details about the experiment itself, but I do know it's an entirely independent operation. The Doctor only proposed a direction for the research. That was the extent of his involvement. The details of the experiment are confidential, but complete records are kept on all participants. That doesn't seem to be the case. I know you don't agree with some of the Fatui's methods, and I'm not asking you to. But I am asking you to trust us on this.
Alright, that's good to hear at least. Clairvy seems to think the Knave and the Doctor work together to do something horrible. It's just that it doesn't seem like Clairvy... The easiest thing to do would be just ask the Knave directly, but...
Father didn't come back last night. Lynette, you're with me. Alright, let...
Ah, it's you two again. I must say, you look a bit pale. Perhaps if you had less on your mind, you'd be able to absolve yourself of such troubles. So what are you planning to do now? Catch up on some sleep? Or should I give you some time to rack your brain for a topic to Although I must profess to being curious. Without Child here, how do you plan on
Us? Distract you? Good.
Looks like you could have used some extra time to think. No, don't worry. I'll be sure to steer clear of any scheming children.
ocean breeze is sure nice today.
Children always think they can hide things from the grown-ups. But nothing gets past me. Least of all a little scheming. I think I'll let them have at it for a little... Well, I'll leave you to think things over. If you're so inclined, meet me outside the Palais Mermonia. Good things come to children who do as they're told. So I do hope you decide to tag along. If only for your friends' sakes.
What should we do? She clearly knows about everything we've been doing, and Paimon doesn't think it'd be a stretch to say she was threatening. Oh, good idea. Hopefully, well, we should probably head to the Palais Mermonia. Paimon doesn't want to find out what happens if we don't show up, based on what the knave was saying just now. Okay, then we probably shouldn't keep her waiting.
Seeing as we still have some time before my meeting, we might as well enjoy some pleasant I'm glad to see you get along with my children. Being surrounded by good companions is necessary for a child.
You're not planning on doing anything.
I assume you're referring to Lyney, Lynette, and although there's that situation with Philly. No matter. I'm not one to discriminate. All those who betray the house meet.
Does that mean you're going to kill them?
Oh, are you here to beg for their lives? I'm sorry to disappoint, but the rule—
But don't you care about them at all? They really respect you. They even call you father. You must—
Any organization in which feelings come before principles is one destined for ruin. The House of the Hearth is hardly an exception. You could say our Perhaps I can offer you this consolation at least. As our guests, you two will not be held accountable along— I would imagine Lyney, Lynette, and Fremine will be— As for Filial, Nantoy, and the others, I'm afraid there's little I can do. They can try to escape, but once you know—
But that's—
Ah, you seem concerned. Out of consideration for my guests, I suppose, if Lyney and the others manage to dispose of Clairvy in the meantime, all evidence of their wrongdoing will be lost. In that case, I could hardly punish them for something I couldn't prove. If their efforts are unsuccessful, on the other hand, all will be held accountable. And the punishment, of course. Oh, and here, I believe this belongs to you. Do try, and it takes a considerable amount of time to train a bird like this. It would be such a pity if you were to lose—
Wait, where did you get that?
Well, I'm afraid that's all the time we have to chat. I asked you to meet me here because I have business at the Palais Mermonia. It has nothing to do with you, but I think it would be prudent for you to stick by my side for the time being. There will— Well, time to go. Looks like we wrapped things up just a— It's been a while, Monsieur Neuvillette. I must say, I wasn't expecting my meeting request to be approved quite so quickly.
It is only right that an esteemed diplomat such as yourself should be afforded the— Although, if I may speak plainly, I must confess that I did not anticipate we would have the— I see you brought the Traveler and Paimon with you as well. If I may—
I'll be departing Fontaine shortly. There is, however, an outstanding matter that I would like to see resolved. It requires a rather lengthy explanation, I'm afraid. So I took the liberty of explaining everything in this proposal. Please review it at—
I understand your request. However, at the risk of causing offense,
I heard you have a certain fondness for water tasting, Monsieur Neuvillette, so allow me to use water as an analogy. A family is like a large body of water with countless rivers. As someone who watches over this system, I would hope that each river that flows from the source will eventually... Of course, objectively speaking, I know this is impossible. Most of the rivers will dry up along the way, disappearing into the ground and leaving nothing but a barren riverbed behind. Not all rivers are destined to reach the ocean, but I would not see their existence rendered meaningless. I believe the water that flows within them is simply meant for a...
Did you get any?
Your words paint an optimistic picture indeed. Allow me to remind you, however, few among us are willing to sip from a glass filled with tainted water.
It may have been tainted at one point in time, but not to worry. I'll make sure it's strained of all impurities and returned to its cleanness.
I seem to recall there being a transactional aspect to your proposal. Perhaps you could expound on that?
If you accept my proposal, Monsieur Neuvillette, I will gradually withdraw my forces from Fontaine, and, unless absolutely necessary, I will no longer carry out any
I presume I can take your words to mean that, in the future, cases similar to the Tartuffe assassination will cease to cross my desk?
Tartuffe? Ah, that thief who embezzled funds from all those charities, you mean? My deepest condolences to his family, but without any evidence, I cannot imagine. Of course, if you accept my proposal, Monsieur Neuvillette, I'm sure certain measures...
You choose your words carefully indeed. In that case, I'm inclined to...
My thanks for your generosity, Monsieur Neuvillette. Well, with that settled, we should be going now. I took the liberty of bringing along 2 bottles of spring water from Snezhnaya for you to enjoy. I do hope I get the chance to hear your impressions. Perhaps at our next meeting, yes?
Indeed. I trust you would not overlook your...
All right, Traveler Paimon. Time to...
What exactly were you talking about back there? Paimon only heard you mention some rivers, a large...
You really want to know? I would imagine there might be more pressing concerns at the moment.
Winnie, Paimon really hopes everything... Oh, Paimon recognizes that look. You've got your thinking cap on, don't you,
Oh, shoot. Are you alright? Oh, jeez. I'm so sorry. I was so focused on selling these papers, I wasn't looking... Well, let me...
Oh, you don't have to give us anything.
Please, I want to. It's my fault, really. I was just trying to bring home some extra
What's going on here?
Nothing much. I just ran into your friend here on
Hold on.
Of course, I'm happy to compensate you with more.
I'll take 3 papers. Here.
Oh! Thank you for your patronage. May the Archons bless you with good... If only I had the chance to run into such generous customers every day. I should probably just take on a smaller inventory, though, right? I'm getting married soon.
Well, now that my affairs are settled, we should take the boat back to Poisson. We've even acquired...
Actually, why don't we... Paimon just realized how hungry she is. She can't head back to Poisson.
It appears you two are under the impression that delaying our return will somehow alter the situation in your favor. That being said, I could be persuaded to give Linny some extra time. I just have one condition. If you agree to my request, I'll even answer some of your questions. You're quite curious about
Wait, why are you being so generous all of a sudden?
You overestimate yourself. You don't have the talent.
Then what can...
The most important consideration in a negotiation is that both sides receive something they want. Demands and threats only get you... Wonderful. Here. When the time comes, make the choice that you deem most appropriate in the situation, and lend your help to the House of the Heart.
Okay. Sounds normal enough, but...
That is for you to decide. Then we have a deal. Follow me.
What is this place?
Somewhere long forgotten by everyone. It used to be a grand building. No one comes here anymore, nor does anyone care about what once happened here. It was before I became a Harbinger, and before Linny and the others joined the House of the Hearth. Due to certain events, I first killed Clairvy and then her mother.
You were the one that killed Clairvy?
Patience now. Allow me to explain Clairvy's side of the story first. I'll start from the beginning. Clairvy was 6 years old when she was brought by her mother, Crucibina, to live in the House of the Hearth. From the outside, it seemed like a fairy tale. A thriving family made up of kind adults and friendly children. Crucibina was the knave at that time, and the House of the Hearth was under her control. She was Clairvy's mother by blood, but she was also the mother to all the children in the house. Clairvy was happy here, for a time. But she quickly realized that being part of this family wasn't a fairy tale at all.
Purgatory?
Exactly. The House of the Hearth takes in war orphans from all over Tevat. But as for how to raise them, that depends entirely on the person in charge. Crucibina came up with a novel idea. She would teach the children to fight, force them to duel each other, and then crown as the king of the house the child who proved themselves most worthy of inheriting her. It's difficult to estimate the number of children who died or were maimed in the process. There's little I can say about the ones who died. They would be handed over to the doctor to be experimented on, or sent away on dangerous missions. Nothing more than tools to be used and then discarded.
So those were the experiments Clairvy was talking about. But what actually... You said that Clairvy was Crucibina's daughter, so if Clairvy tried to convince her to stop what she was doing, Crucibina probably would have listened, right?
Despite being Clairvy's mother, Crucibina cared little for her daughter. She forced Clairvy to join the House of the Hearth only as a means to demonstrate her own impartiality as a mother. To prove that she treated... Clairvy did try to convince her mother to change her ways, but it was to no avail. After her efforts failed, the only other option was to rise up and try to fight back. Of course, there was one exception. Someone Clairvy's age, who knew the truth about the House of the Hearth. Her name was Peruere.
Wait, the friend that Clairvy...
Friend, huh? I suppose we can call her that for now. Clairvy was a cheerful and passionate person with a tenacious spirit. Peruere, on the other hand, was rather cold-blooded. Her cold-blooded nature allowed her to see through Crucibina's facade. Yet, it was also this cold-bloodedness that prevented her from acting against it. At least at first. While Clairvy, despite their differences, the two became fast friends, united by their knowledge of the truth. Clairvy told Peruere that she hoped to create a real family, where no one would be killed or sacrificed. There may have been a certain naivete to her ideas, but Clairvy proved her determination many times over. She tried countless times to run away, ask for help, or expose the truth. But her efforts only earned her beating after beating. Even with her body racked with pain, she would still stand on her tiptoes and open the window at night. She and Peruere would look out at the moon together. A fierce longing for freedom.
Oh no. What happened?
Her hopelessness resulted from a culmination of things. 10 years had passed. 10 years worth of failure after failure. She and Peruere weren't children anymore, but finding any chance to escape still seemed... It was during this time that Peruere suggested a new plan. If escaping was out of the question, why not take down... Clairvy rejected that proposal. She claimed that, as a famous harbinger, Crucibina possessed an unimaginable amount of power. Clairvy never gave another reason, but Peruere could see it written all over her face. Clairvy still thought of Crucibina as if she couldn't escape and fight back, then only one option remained. Precisely. Death. It happened during a duel. When she arrived at the dueling ring that day, her partner turned out to be none other than Peruere. The very person that had stood by her side all those years. It was a fierce battle. But ultimately, from that moment on, Peruere's journey was one written in flames. When the rain finally came and washed it all away, there she stood, the sole victor in Mother's endless game of slaughter. It was the very result she had predicted 10 years prior. Even then, she believed she would make it until she was unsettled. And there was only one thing that could quell that sensation. Perhaps...
Crucibina, you mean?
Correct. This is the place where Peruere killed her best friend. A mere year later, this is also the place where she fought tooth and nail to kill the mother they shared. The moment she acted, any conception of what was right or wrong ceased to matter. It's one of the principles of the house. Only those who survive get to write the rule. Peruere won the battle, and became a harbinger herself. After which Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa, bestowed upon her a new name. Arlecchino.
So the Perry Clairvy was talking about... It was you all along. You're Peruere. Arlecchino is just a name you got later.
I left that name behind long ago. I must say, hearing it now does bring back memory. After I defeated Crucibina, the moniker of Mother died with her. I chose to forego the title she called herself and even chose to give up my own name. I rebuilt the house, and that is where the story ends.
Yeah. Based on what you just told us, Clairvy wasn't a little kid when she...
I suppose you could call her an illusion born of flame. Her existence is like ash. You see, a certain power runs through my veins. It's not unlike a curse. My flame, of course. The chances of those shadows morphing into a sentient entity are Clairvy died when she was 16 years old. But what emerged from the flames was her 6-year-old self. Her appearance wasn't the only thing affected. Memory is a mysterious thing indeed. Losing a portion of your memories will alter your sense of self. Lose 10 years' worth.
No wonder Paimon got such a weird feeling when we were talking to...
Perhaps I should put it this way. Clairvy is someone trapped in time. It may seem like she exists with us in the present.
So if all of that is true, then you must have known about Clairvy.
Indeed. She's a rather volatile and unstable entity, but other times she would hide from me. Shadows don't have the capacity to learn or grow. Any new information they encounter is quickly forgotten over time. Your attempts to expose Clairvy to sunlight. They failed, yes? The reason is actually quite simple. In Clairvy's mind, the house is impossible to escape. And it is this very perception that traps her there. But no matter. All I have to do is kill her again, and all will be resolved. I don't anticipate so much as a single speck of ash will be left behind.
Wait! Paimon can understand why you might want her gone, but isn't there another way? So what if she's trapped in her 6-year-old self? She's still your friend! At least talk to her first!
It's too late for that. She broke the rules, and now she must be punished. That goes for Filial and Nent. I hope you understand. The difference between Crucibina and myself lies in our formulation of the rules, not our policy for enforcing them. Upholding the rules without question is a trait we both share, because that is how a household should be run.
Is this really what you want to do?
Whatever could you mean?
Don't you want to say a proper goodbye at least?
Whether as a killer or as a father, there are two things that must be avoided at all costs: anger and sorrow. Anger makes you impulsive. Sorrow causes you to waver. Well, it appears it's about time to proceed. Before we arrived, I told some of my well-behaved... I do believe I've kept my end of the deal. I give your friends quite a bit more time.
Here they are, Father.
You gonna execute him? Seeing something like that would actually be a... Lenny!
I'm sorry. I heard about how you helped buy us more time, but I still failed. I couldn't find a way to fulfill her wish.
Huh? Are you... Perry?
Indeed, it's been a while, Clairvy.
Perry!
Shh. Stay right there. I'm sorry to postpone our reunion, but first I believe certain scores need settling.
Father, let me explain.
Out of my way.
Father!
You chose to conceal a threat to the house. And for that, you must be punished. Overall, however, I suppose your wrongdoing is hardly the most egregious of the bunch, so I'll deal with your punishments later. As for right now, the more pressing concerns are the traitors among us.
By traitors? Do you mean— Father, let me explain. We didn't mean to—
Fultz, why don't you share what you heard?
Yes, Father. Secret Midnight Meeting number 3. Participants: Filial, Nantoy, Sato, Toddy. Nantoy clearly said, "If only Father wasn't the one who took us in." Sato added, "I'm sick of this life. I just want to live as a normal person." Filial was the worst of them all. She called us crazies and said a bunch of mean things about Father.
I did not! You're lying! Fultz is trying to frame us!
It's not like I'm the only one who heard those things. After that, you and Toddy and a bunch of other people started talking about Clairvy. You were using all those things Clairvy brought up as an excuse to question Father. We're birds locked in a cage. The only way out is to destroy it. That's what you said, wasn't it?
You little... You just want me gone, don't you? What did I ever do to you, huh? And you, Sheplo, have you forgotten who stood by your sickbed, watched over you, and...
You're wrong, Filial. We don't want you to die. You're our family.
Liar. You wouldn't be doing this if that were the case.
We all live in the House of the Hearth. You know the type of work a single betrayal can cost dozens of us our lives. It's not like it's never happened before. That kind of thing is hard to forget. That's why the House of the Hearth cannot tolerate any form of betrayal. Ever since we came to Poisson, you've had 7 secret meetings,
A lot of the things you talked about really... You've been spying on us for half a month? Wait a second. Now that I think about it, the move to Poisson was just a way to make it eat...
Filial, Nantoy, I owe you both my life. I owe Clairvy too. If it weren't for all your help after I got poisoned, I wouldn't be standing here today. If this were any other situation, I would do anything to repay that kindness, even if it cost me my life.
Why?
That's enough, Filial. We made a mistake. I'm sorry, Chapleau. Fultz. We... accept our punishment.
Chapleau, according to the rules of the House of the Hearth, how...
All those who betray the house pay with their lives.
And so it shall be.
Father, please wait!
Something you want to say, Linny?
Please reconsider, Father. What Filial and the others did. We all come from broken families. From the very first day we joined the House of the Hearth, but the truth is, none of us know what a real home I'm not saying I have all the answers. All I know is this. Killing Filial and the others may uphold the rules, but doing so will only bring us further away from being a real family than we... So please, Father. Please.
I agree with Linny.
Father, please.
Linny, you... I also agree with Linny.
An order once given cannot be rescinded. However, given the extent of your determination...
Our weapons?
Father, are you referring to a duel?
Precisely. The rules of the house will not be altered. Traitors... However, resolving disputes with a duel is also one of our rules, one that also applies to me. Demonstrate a sufficient showing of strength, and I shall offer a concession.
Wait.
Impossible. Father is way too... Did you hear that, Traveler? Lynn and the others have to duel the knave. What should we do? If they lose, those people from the house are really gonna be executed.
Don't you want to say a proper goodbye at least?
Anger makes you impulsive. Sorrow causes...
Oh. Looking at that expression on her face, she seems really serious about this. Guess that means...
When guests are around, families are often on their best behavior.
When the time comes, make the choice that you deem most appropriate in the situation, and lend your help to the House of the Hearth.
What's wrong, Traveler? Hey, where are you going?
Traveler?
You're asking to join the duel against the knave?
I'll allow it. We do have a ready-made dueling ring at our disposal, after all. All I would advise is this. Keep a firm grasp on your weapon, and give it your all. Any less, and you may just lose...
Stabilize!
Is it my turn now? Spare your energy. Running is of little use.
Gather!
Now's our chance!
Spare your energy. Running is of little use.
Solidify!
With these rising flames. Is it my turn now? Closer now.
Stabilize!
Pace yourself!
Is it my turn?
Hold the line!
Gather!
Spare your energy. Running is of little use.
Now's our chance!
Now that's more like it.
Solidify!
With these rising flames. Is it my turn now?
Billowing surge! Rustin, over here!
This is order.
With the fall of darkness, destruction shall rise. Have a taste of purgatory.
Look out!
Hold the line!
Turn now.
Now's our chance!
Spare your energy. Running is of little use. Look at you. Trapped like a bunch of helpless animals.
Solidify!
Spare your energy. Running is of little use.
You alright?
Stabilize! Waste to the wicked!
Think you can get away?
Try to pace yourself!
How amusing.
Watch out for Father's movements!
Is it my turn now?
Rustin, rebuild!
Spare your energy.
Solidify!
Running is a little.
Are you alright?
Rising flames. Is it my turn now?
Allow me!
Spare your energy. Running is of little use.
Gather!
Look out!
And waste to the wicked!
Time for takeoff. Here we go!
Closer now.
Watch out for Father's movements!
Order cut!
Trapped like a bunch of helpless animals.
Stabilize!
Spare your energy. My blade is all that remains.
Watch out for Father's movements! Look out!
Gather!
Covenant of the Deep!
Now's our chance!
Over here!
Your punishment made manifest.
Solidify!
Watch out for Father's movements! Look out!
Gather!
The sun and moon have set. Only ruin remains. All hope is lost. Who's next?
Feeling a little...
Over here!
Now's our chance!
You should know better than to crowd in one place.
Oh, I know.
No! I'm sorry, Father!
Sorry for what? This pitiful excuse for an attack.
Father, no!
Made it out, did you? You're stronger than I expected.
A crimson moon? I can't move.
Still, not strong enough to beat me. I believe we can end things here. It's not often that we get to enjoy the company of guests, after all. We wouldn't want things to get too out of hand.
Lenny.
Given that I am the victor of this duel, as agreed, the punishment stands.
No!
I never thought
things would end like this.
However, everyone involved in the duel demonstrated a remarkable level of strength and determination. In light of this, I'm prepared to change the method of execution. Elwar, the bottled flames I gave you for safekeeping. Do you still have them?
Yes? I wasn't sure what they were for, but I've kept them super safe.
Wonderful. Then, in just a moment, I'll have you administer them.
Bottled flames?
Indeed. They're the product of a secret experiment. Under certain special circumstances, flames can be extracted from my person and preserved. Once ingested, searing pain will spread across every inch of your body. No harm will come to you physically, but your memories will be burned away. If you can withstand the pain. When you awake, you'll have forgotten everything you know about the House of the Hearth, and will be expelled from the organization. In other words, administering this concoction will kill the version of you that grew up in the house, and give you a new identity. Memory is a mysterious thing indeed. Losing a portion of your memories will alter your sense of self.
So, you're just letting us go, Father?
You misunderstand. Memories are extremely important. Once consumed by flame, the version of you standing before me will die, and our secrets will die with you.
Even so, I won't have to live in fear anymore. I'm sorry, Father. I'm sorry I let you down. But I really...
Don't cry, Filial. You haven't left the house yet, so there are still rules to be followed, yes. Remember what I taught you. Anger makes you impulsive, sorrow causes you to waver. Don't let yourself be controlled by your emotions.
Of course. I'll remember.
Dry your tears, and go pursue the life you really want.
Yes, Father.
Chaplot, Foltz, Elwar, take them back to Poisson. And bring Linny and the others as well. I prepared 3 extra vials of bottled flames. As for whether to take them, the choice is yours. Goodbye, children. The next time we meet, I will no longer be your father. Thank you for all you've done for the house. I hope you have bright futures ahead of you.
Father.
Let's go.
Here, grab my arm, Linny. I'll help you walk back.
Thank you.
Clairvy.
Can we talk now? I've been waiting for a super long time.
You really are Perry, aren't you? I haven't seen you in so long. How come you're all grown up? Wait, did I somehow travel to the future on accident? Or am I dreaming? What a long dream!
Neither. You died, Clairvy. That's what happened.
You could have at least sugarcoated it a little! Look, she's done speechless!
Oh. Okay then.
Huh? That's it? You accepted it just like that?
Yep. If that's what Perry says happened, then I believe her. Perry wouldn't lie to me. Plus, I don't really need to know why I'm like this. I'm more curious about what happens in the future. If you're a harbinger now, Perry, that means Mother is gone, isn't she? Can you tell me about it? I want to know what happened to her. And to me.
You never stopped trying to defy fate. At first, no one believed you. You could only vent your frustrations to the moon. In fact, you often sought comfort in the night sky. You wanted to see the aurora, so one night we promised each other we would go to Snezhnaya to see it. Later on, you tried to run away, but you were brought back each time. Mother spared your life, but it wasn't out of kindness. Instead, she decided to make an example of you by slowly torturing you over time. That way, the other children would know what happens to traitors. Still, you never gave up. Mother hoped that through ruthless duel after ruthless duel, she would be able to crown an ultimate victor among the children she raised. But you called on everyone to unite, to fight to a draw in order to reduce casualties. Your efforts may have only delayed the inevitable, but you tried everything you could think of, but every attempt ended in failure. For the last 16 years of my life, I've done everything I can to fight for freedom. But now, I realize that the only freedom I truly possess is the freedom to choose to die.
I never imagined I would say something like that. I must have been feeling really worn down. But somehow, I still think I understand. According to Mother's plan, only one of us was going to make it until the end. And I always hoped that person would be you. If I could do it all over again, I still don't think I would make a different choice. Even when I first met you, I knew you'd be—
Is that so? Even now, I'm not sure I truly understand what kind of freedom you were trying to pursue. But as the head of the House of the Hearth, and as the children's father, I've tried to give them the most basic of freedoms. It's something I discussed with the Eudex of Fontaine. The children who want to leave the house will have their memories wiped clean of all secrets pertaining to the organization. In return, they will be allowed to live a normal life in Fontaine without being prosecuted for their past. Of course, I won't simply hand freedom to them on a silver platter. They have to fight for it and prove themselves.
That's more than enough. That's exactly— You know, Perry, I think you're a pretty amazing king, and a really great father, too. I'm really happy that you're the one who took over the house. I guess I do have one regret, though. I still haven't seen the outside world.
Well, it just so happens that our dear guests over here have been to many nations and traveled to countless places. Perhaps they would be willing to tell you what the outside world is like.
Really? You know, I used to dream of playing the lute while singing into the winds of freedom. Ah, that's where Mora comes from. If I had some Mora, I would buy 3 new dresses. One for me. It's just too bad Perry doesn't like wearing dresses. And Mother, well, she probably wouldn't accept something like that either. Those yokai you mentioned, what do they look like? I once saw a drawing of this one guy with horns on his head and a
Oh, sounds like you're talking about an Oni. Yep,
I was always too afraid to skip Mother, but at the academia, I bet you could... I'm just kidding.
the situation was super dangerous. Lenny and Lynette were
Oh no!
Don't worry, we were able to turn the situation around.
How'd you do that? Come on, tell me!
Ahem. Okay, so it was like...
Shadows don't have the capacity to learn or grow. Any new information they encounter... Clairvy, you've worked tirelessly from the shadows to overthrow the House of the Hearth. Now, by my authority as the Knave, I shall announce how this matter ends. You are hereby expelled from the House of the Hearth. You are no longer tied to this place, nor are you bound by its rules.
You're saying that I can finally leave? I get to experience the outside world as well? Oh, I almost forgot. There's no getting older for me. Still, seeing who you grew up to be makes me really happy, Paraware. Take care of yourself. Goodbye.
May we meet again someday.
Clairvy. She left so soon. Paimon didn't even get to finish her story.
I also have certain sentiments left unsaid. I wanted to tell her that the aurora I saw in Snezhnaya was just as beautiful as the ones in the... But a shadow's memories reset at dawn. Had we delayed any longer, we wouldn't have had the time to say goodbye. Whatever regrets may linger, let them be lost to the coming of a new day.
Father?
It's Linny! Hey, Linny! What is he doing back here? Let's go check it.
Father, the bottled flames have been administered. Filial and the others have left the house.
And you? What have you decided?
Thank you for giving us that choice, Father. But we never wanted to leave the house. Lynette and Fremine feel the same way. They're recuperating back at the Hotel Bouffe d'été. But I decided to come back and tell you where we stood.
I'm sure you're well aware of the expectations I have for you. I want you to follow in my footsteps and become the next king of the house. I must admit, I'm rather surprised by your decision to stay. There's nothing wrong with choosing to live a quiet life. Leading this organization is a heavy responsibility. One not so easily carried by someone forced on...
I just never understood what you saw in me. What made you believe I was deserving of that throne?
You're brave, talented, and, most importantly, you cherish your family. You would do anything to protect them, even if it costs you your life.
Speaking up back there was so brave of you, Linny. It's all thanks to you that we were able to convince Father to back down.
You're a hero, Linny.
Hero? Father is the real hero. Had Father gone all out during the duel, there's no way I would have walked away with my life. I'm not deserving of that title. I'm not strong enough.
You're wrong. In my opinion, all you need to be deserving of the throne is conviction and the necessary strength to act on it. We may have different ideas of what it means to be a family, but you can hardly be said to lack conviction. What you truly lack is strength. For someone of your talent, though, that's something that will come with time. Even without that strength, you still chose to face me in a duel, even though the odds were stacked against you. That capacity to honor your
father.
No one knows what the future holds, what tragedy or triumph may be in store. If reaching a certain standard were required to go after what you want, I would never have succeeded in killing my predecessor. Back then, there was still a considerable gap between our abilities. Strength may decide the ultimate victor, but those who let a lack of strength dictate their decisions or undermine their convictions will never be worthy of the throne.
I understand, Father. Thank you.
Children must grow up to surpass their parents. Only then can a family... The road ahead is not an easy one. So I'll ask you one last time. Are you certain you want to stay?
You've done so much for me, Father, and that kindness must be repaid. Plus, with Project Stooja at hand, there are many dangers ahead, and I, for one, don't intend to back down. Protecting my family at all costs. That's my conviction.
Then you're welcome to stay. As for Project Stooja, you need not be too concerned. If those cowardly businessmen and heartless dignitaries try to take us down, I'm prepared to teach them a lesson. Having members who longed for the light was our organization's last weakness. With those members no longer among our ranks, the House of the Hearth is like a spider hiding in the shadows. At present, our imperative is to use their plan to our advantage. In doing so, a crimson moon shall rise amid the frigid blizzards of winter. No demonstration of loyalty shall go unrewarded, and no sacrifice shall be in vain. As for the two of you, whether we meet again as friend or foe, I'll remember the camaraderie we shared in this moment. No matter how arduous the journey ahead, I hope we both reach our desired destination.
Lynette and Fremine were recovering at the Hotel Bouffe d'été. Lynette? Fremine? How are you feeling?
Much better.
Whew, what a relief.
What about you? Are you
I knew you'd come out unscathed. Us, on the other hand, well... Oh, and I want... Linny and the other members have left Poisson and returned to the House of the Hearth. According to him, there haven't been any more sightings of a spirit roaming the house.
I see.
I'm glad. Father came to check up on us 2 days ago and told us about what happened with Crusabina and Clairvy. Actually, I've met Crusabina.
Wait, what? You've met the former knave?
Crusabina died a year after Clairvy. It was during the year between their deaths that I joined the House of the Hearth. Crusabina had an extremely cruel and radical way of doing things. While she was alive, the atmosphere in the house was suffocating. When I joined, though, the experiment she valued so much had already come to an end, and all the people involved, dead and injured alike, were gone. A couple of months after I joined, Father killed Crusabina and burned all her files. With that, the names of all the people subjected to her experiments, Clairvy included, were lost to the flames, along with the painful memories.
Father took in Lenny and me a couple months after that, but she never mentioned anything.
It really seems like something she was planning to keep to herself. The last time you talked to her, did she mention why she kept it a secret for so long?
She said she didn't want us to be affected by the darkness of the past. She was worried we'd develop a false sense of gratitude towards her if we knew about it. The foundation of a family should be free of any corrupting influence. Whatever happened in the past, it hasn't. And that's what Father told us in the...
But I still thanked her for everything. It was only after hearing about what Crusabina did that I finally realized how insignificant our lives could have been. The members of the house meant nothing to her. If Father hadn't taken over the House of the Hearth, I probably would have already...
Father rarely brings up the fact that she saved us. She doesn't believe that being indebted to her should be what. But even if we didn't owe her anything, we may have arguments or times when we feel wronged. Some people may even choose to leave.
Whether the path before us is bathed in sunlight or shrouded in shadow. So I wanted to say thank you for helping us make it.
Oh, we didn't do anything real.
Of course. You're welcome anytime.
Are Filio and Nantoy okay?
I actually saw them at a cafe that they didn't recognize me. From what I could tell, they seemed happy.
afraid?
Solidify!
Or do you not even have the courage to be afraid? Is it my turn
Dog,
now?
break
With
forth!
these rising flames! Spare your energy. Running is of little use. How amusing.
Rest and rebuild! Think you can get away?
With these rising flames! Is it my turn now?
Flames, purge!
With these rising flames!
Let's move on. Allow me!
Is it my turn now?
Stabilize!
Now that's more like it. Is it my turn now?
Gather! This is order!
With these
Solidify.
rising
Time for
flames!
takeoff. Hold the line!
Is it my turn now?
Gather! Flames,
Spare your
purge!
energy. Running is of little use. The countdown has begun. Have a taste of purgatory.
Solidify!
Look at you. Trapped like a bunch of helpless animals.
Gather!
How amusing.
Billowing surge!
Closer now.
Solidify!
The countdown has begun. Like a fly tangled in a web.
Think you can get away?
How amusing. With these rising flames.
Order guide you. Gather.
How amusing.
Flames, purge. Solidify.
Spare your energy. Running is of little use.
Rise. Gather.
Covenant of the Deep!
How amusing. The countdown has begun. Like a fly tangled in a web. How amusing. With these rising flames.
Let's move out.
This is order. Solidify.
Time for takeoff. Allow me.
Is it
I
my
want to fly to meet.
Stabilize. Waste to the wicked.
Solidify!
Closer now.
Hold the line!
How amusing. Not bad. You've proven to be a worthy opponent after all.
I will have order.
Is it my turn now?
Stabilize. Laying waste to the wicked.
Billowing surge!
Spare your energy. Running is of little use.
Solidify!
My blade is all that remains.
Think you can get away? Rest and rebuild!
Gather! Solidify!
Your punishment made manifest.
Allow me!
Stabilize!
The sun and moon have set. Only ruin remains. You struggle in vain.
Hold the line!
Solidify!
Here we go! Allow me!
Stabilize! Dawn, break forth!
Let's see how strong your resolve truly is.
Solidify! You shouldn't see me like this. Stabilize!
Rest and rebuild!
Gather!
The sun and moon have set. Only ruin remains. You struggle in vain.
Stabilize!
Hold the line! Brace yourself!
Your punishment made manifest.
Purge!
Turn! Bring refuge! A brash maneuver! Let's move out. Allow me!
Solidify!
have set, only ruin remains. All hope
Here we
has
go.
been extinguished.
Time for takeoff. Allow me.
This is order.
Your punishment made manifest.
Let's play. Think you can get away?
Stabilize.
Covenant of the Deep. Rest and rebuild.
Suntel is only the beginning.
Hold the line.
The sun and moon have set. Only ruin remains. Struggle in vain.
Order guide you.
Rest and rebuild.
Quake.
Taurus, bring refuge.